Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video we're going to be installing some headers on my BA XR8 and we're going to make race car noises before the job's even bloody finished. Good afternoon, guys. Back in today with another video of what we get up to day to day when we've got nothing else to do but muck around with cars. So today we're going to be working on my BA XR8 Ute. I don't really want to do this job, but I don't have a choice because I know it's going to be stupidly expensive if I have to pay someone to do it. So I'm going to try and tackle it myself. Anyway, let's get into it. So we are going to be having a go at this today. Everywhere you look on this thing, it's just limited for space, and basically I've got to be working down on each side of the motor to be fitting up a set of Pacemaker Tri-Y headers, extractors, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, because I'm not too keen to be working on this thing, I'm going to be taking my time with it, obviously. From what I've been told, it's a fairly involved job. Not too sure what surprises I'm going to run into yet. I know there is a video on YouTube of a set of Pacemaker, I think they're 4-into-1s, that will fit it up on an XR8 Ute as well, so it gives me a little bit of confidence that it can be done at home. In saying that, I don't have a hoist, so I'm just doing this on the ground. But yeah, we'll find out the hard way as to how much work this is actually going to be. Yeah, hopefully it all goes well. Alright, so these are the headers that I've got for it. These are Pacemaker Tri-Ys. I think from memory 1 3/4 inch primaries. So they're not the big dog ones that you can get. I think you can get 1 7/8 primaries from different brands. Alright, so the reason I've gone for these ones in particular is because the Boss 260s are known for being an absolute slug down low. Ever since I got this Ute, has been my number one complaint, is that this thing just has no balls down low at all. I think the power band, from what I can feel, is like 3.5 to 5.5 where it hits rev cut or rev limit or whatever. Yeah, it's just a shit combo, especially with the 4-speed auto. Probably not so bad with the 6-speed autos and the manuals, but with a 4-speed auto, this thing is an absolute slug. So diff gears are definitely on the cards at some stage if I hold on to this. But I thought for now, if I can get the headers in there, the Tri-Ys are supposed to scavenge pretty nicely, and hopefully that'll give us a little bit more low-end pull. Yeah, so I've had these stripped and ceramic coated by High Performance Coatings and Mahia Road out in Rewa. These guys did an epic job on these. Basically took just over a week to get these back to me, and yeah, finish-wise they're mint. Yeah, should do the trick of keeping under-bonnet temperatures down and stopping the pipes from corroding over time. So yeah, that's a big bonus, getting those ready while I'm still on holiday, so now I've got a bit of time to try and fit them up and yeah, get some little extensions made or some adapters made so I can fit the rest of the exhaust up to these, and then yeah, fingers crossed it all goes to plan. So first things first, I think we'll get rid of all of the intake side of things. We'll get rid of the battery. I think that's going to have to come loose, so I can flip that over here, and then should be able to get access to the bolts, well, as much of the bolts as I can from the top. And then yeah, I guess I'll have to jack it up, yeah, drop the exhaust, and whatever else needs to be dropped or removed or whatever, and then yeah, get stuck into removing the factory manifolds and hopefully getting the headers on. so I can finally get to at least one of these bolts, so I'm going to try and see if I can figure out which tool I need to use, because I have read a lot that in most cases you're going to have to need to make something up, which I can pretty much guarantee I'm probably going to have to, so I'll see what I can do. I've got one of these, this little hex adapter thing on a 3/8 drive socket. Yeah, see if it works. So I've got this on a little swivel head ratchet. It's a 6mm Allen key. So not too bad. I was actually thinking these would be stupidly tight, but reasonable. Just get this out and see what it actually looks like. Okay, so it's just a M8 cap screw by the looks of it, so nothing too extravagant. So I guess we've got 8 of these on each side to take off, just to separate the headers from the heads. Oh shit! Little disclaimer: I am not a mechanic. I just like wasting time doing things that I should probably pay people to do, which is why I'm under the car right now, having a look at what else we need to do. So I'm gonna have to remove 2 bolts there on each side just to drop these decap pipes down. I've got 2 bolt flanges under here as well on each side that I need to remove. Obviously the O2 sensors need to come out and have them disconnected from the looms up there. What else? I'm anticipating this sway bar is going to have to be dropped at least, or swung out of the way, so we'll sort that out nice and early. I don't know whether the starter motor is going to have to come out. I don't know exactly how much room's up there, so, and that starter is actually taking up a shitload of room, which might be handy not having there, or maybe not, we'll see. Yeah, I haven't checked the other side yet, but I can only imagine that'd be just as much of a prick because it's got the steering linkages on that side, down to, well, from the column down to the rack, so yeah. Okay, so this is the driver's side, and yeah, it's probably going to need that steering linkage between the column and the steering rack to be pulled out. We'll see what else we can get away with. There's not a lot of room in there as well, but yeah, there's fuck all room in there. You can sort of see why a lot of places we're pulling the motor, or lifting the motor at least, to do this job. Probably not so bad with the Pacemaker headers because they're quite short style, but I believe the Hurricane ones and possibly the Genie ones, which look like they have longer secondaries, well, secondaries, primaries, whichever style it is, between the 4 and the 1s and the Tri-Ys. Yeah, not fun. So looks like I'm gonna have to remove the dipstick as well. This is why I don't like these engines. There is nearly no room to do anything. Can't even see what that actually looks like. I think it's a 10mm bolt. It feels like a 10mm bolt. But yeah, you just can't really get any room to swing a spanner or whatever. So yeah, fun times. Finally got the side out. Starter motor had to come out. Sway bar, obviously we had to drop the sway bar to get the room to swing spanners and whatnot. Absolute prick of a job, but we are finally one half out. Alright guys, day number 2 of working on this stupid XR8. So yesterday we managed to get the left side done. So we got the left side header out and we got the new header back in. Still yet to try and figure out what tools I need to tighten up the bottom 4 cap screws. Yeah, it's weird. You can get the original header out relatively easy in terms of accessing the bolts. With the new ones there's pretty limited room just under where it comes out of the flange, so gonna have to make up something today. Either I'm gonna cut down an Allen key, probably the ball end of an Allen key, just so we got like a little bit of swivel, and then hopefully that works. If not, yeah, I might just try and take them all out and chuck a little just a normal hex head bolt in there, but we'll see how we get on today. Alright, so this is one weapon of choice. I've got a 1/4 inch extension with a 1/4 inch universal with a 1/4 inch 6mm long reach socket. Then I've got a cut down 6mm Allen key, so I'm going to slip that into the socket end to bring it to that length, so this is quite long already. Then I've got a 1/4 inch to 3/8 drive adapter so I can put my swivel head 3/8 ratchet onto it, just so I can actually get some leverage onto the stupid bolt. So this is how creative you need to get when accessing some of these bolts. Yeah, fun times. Alright, so fuck it. Alright, so obviously I'm under the car right now. I'm going to attempt to video this while trying to tighten one of these bolts from underneath. Yeah, it is not fun at all. On the ground is shit. If you've got a hoist, it probably makes it a million times easier. You can maneuver yourself a lot better, you can maneuver your arms wherever you want. I'm not the smallest guy out there. I'm actually a big motherfucker, so trying to do this shit on the ground, yeah, not ideal. Would not recommend. Do not try this at home. All that shit. So yeah, Let's see how we get on with this one. Alright, so I've tightened that first one over there. Attempting to try and get to that second one right there. But yeah, you don't really have a lot of room here. You've got the primary in the way, you've got the oil filter in the way, probably even more so because I've got the sandwich plate on there as well, which pushes the filter further out. We've got the transmission cooler pipes that are in the way. Everything's in the way. God damn it. So I think this is slowly tightening. Again, not ideal. This is absolutely shit, but you know, I've only got to do this once. Hopefully they never have to come out, otherwise I'm selling the fucking car. Shit you not. Yep, this is the absolute worst bolt I think to get to. This is not fun. Yeah, this is not fun at all. Next invention, a 10mm ratchet spanner with a little 6mm hex bit, so it just pops into there. Put a bit of tape on there just to stop it from falling through, and yeah, seems to work good for the front ones. So sort of just slot that in there, and yeah, all nice and tight at the moment, so it's good. So yeah, get in there. Alright, so this has been an absolute fucking mission. Makes it even worse, it's starting to rain again. It's been raining on and off every 5 minutes today, which is a pain in the ass, but what can you do? So yeah, so currently I've got the headers in, just trying to chuck the top bolts in there and then tighten all of this shit up, and then yeah, just get started on making up some decap pipes to go from the headers back to the X-Force Y pipe. Alright, so the driver's side has been even more of a bitch than the passenger side. Got the header in, bolted it all up and everything. Went to swing the intermediate shaft of the steering back down, and then it was hitting on the last pipe of the header, so I couldn't get it in position. So basically I had to disconnect it from the steering column, pull it out from the top, maneuver it back down, and then bolt it all back together. So yeah, I'm getting close now, hopefully not too far away. Okay, so just in the middle of reconnecting this steering linkage up here. Just needs to slot back onto the steering rack, and then I can put the 10mm bolt through that just so it's all locked in place, and then fit the O2 sensors on each side. And I think I'll need to reconnect the wiring to the starter, and then yeah, get started on working on these sections that need to go between the white pipe and the header flange. So yeah. Alright, so these are the two sections of exhaust that I need to modify. Haven't really looked into it too much, but I'm assuming I'm going to have to cut it probably about there on both of them. I weld in two bolt flanges on each one, and hopefully it all lines up with the rest of the exhaust. What I'm looking at doing right now is welding in two flexies. Didn't really want to do it this way, but when I cut the old flanges off and sort of dummied it up under the car, it's going to sit on a slight angle coming up towards where the header flanges are. So I thought it's probably easier and less hassle to just chuck a flexi in there. At least that way, once it's all bolted up, the flexi will sort of adjust itself to basically take up any angular difference that there is, while still maintaining that the flanges are going to mate up squarely. Yeah, it just makes it a little bit easier. It's a bit of a mission trying to weld up different cut angles and whatnot under the car, and hoping that it all lines up properly. So the flexes just make it easier, or easier for me at least. So yeah, so basically this is what I'm looking at right now. I am going to have to cut these a little bit shorter than what I've originally cut them at. Initially I cut them because I was just going to weld flanges straight on the ends, but it's not that simple. They're going to need a little bit more of an angle to come up to where the 2-bolt flanges are on the headers. So I'll cut these two, weld these two flexies in, weld the flanges on, and then bolt it all up. So I've got the flanges and the flexies welded up at the moment, so excuse my terrible welding. There's a gasless MIG, but yeah, it should be okay. I've done a few exhausts using this welder and it seems to hold up okay, so basically just got to cut down the pipe between here and the flanges that bolt up to the Y pipe, and then tack it in place, and then yeah, ready for the final weld up. Alright, so that's the job all done. So the headers are all fitted up. I've made the little shields for the steering rack boots. Fabbed up the decap pipes. Don't mind my ugly as welds. At least it's still functional. It's actually pretty solid under there. Nothing really moves too much, so it's quite nice. And just into the rest of the exhaust, we've got the X-Force twin 2.5 inch stainless system on it right now. So it splits off the decap pipes into a Y to a cross pipe, X pipe, whatever you want to call it, and then splits again into twin 2.5 inch pipes. At the moment, I'm just running the single twin in, twin out muffler that X-Force uses, which is their quiet option apparently, or medium option. So probably looking at cutting that muffler out at some stage, and either putting in two separate mufflers, or yeah, I'm not sure yet. Might go with another twin in, twin out, but a different style muffler maybe. And then yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I was wanting to bring the ute out today to do some testing, I guess you could call it, just to see if it was much different from how I used to drive before fitting the pacemaker headers. But given that the roads are a bit damp now, that's probably going to be absolutely useless. But yeah, we can probably still get some footage, I guess. guys, so first impression after fitting these headers. I'll be honest, like within the first day or so of me driving it, I didn't really notice a hell of a lot in terms of power difference. Sound difference, definitely. Between 2000 and 3000 RPM, it has a completely different tone to what it had before. And I've had other people comment that as well when they're in the car. They're like, oh shit, it sounds deeper around that revs, and it's like it just seems less laboured within that certain rev range. But it sounds good. So pretty happy with that change. It hasn't changed much at idle or like in the upper revs. It still sort of sounds similar to what it was before, actually. So power wise, like I was saying, it didn't feel like it made much of a difference, but I think this is because it made gains across the board. It's definitely got more low end to mid-range pull, definitely. So yeah, pretty excited to get it on a dyno for a final tune. Hopefully get that done soon. Just sort of figuring out who I'm going to go with in terms of a tuner that's local. So I've got a few places in mind, so I just got to contact them and yeah, get the ball rolling, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, feel free to subscribe and all that stuff. I'm pretty late to this YouTube game, so yeah, I'll try and get some more content out as soon as I can, and as much as I can as well. I've got a lot of cars that I do a lot of work on, so no doubt there'll be some future videos coming up real soon. And yeah, until that time, take it easy. Peace.